We welcome you to the Simmons Complex on the campus of Halldale High School as Munsing Media Sports brings you field hockey. Rob Munsing, Mo McNally along for this one. Glad you could join us here. And as we get set for action here from the Simmons Complex. Coach McNally, these teams come in pretty much equal on the season here. As we played a little bit past the halfway mark, and should be a good matchup here today.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Rob. In talking with both coaches, they both said the same thing. They both can be explosive at times offensively. Both of them have some young kids that are contributing early. They're in terms of MPA placement, they're in 4th and 5th or 4th and 6th place at this point. So there's a lot of very similar traits in both these teams. Talking to Coach Lexi Fuller of Oak Hill, she tells us that they're coming in at 2-3-1. They've scored 9 goals. Their leading scorers are Madeline Sikora, Grace Beignet, and Izzy Whitaker. Her top defensive players are Lexi Pelkey, Michaela Pontbriand, and Saren Blaze. And the teams that they've beaten Boothbay and Telstar, as has Halldale. The teams they've lost to include the Winthrop, Monmouth, and Rannoch team. Again, Halldale lost to them as well, and they're one of the top teams in Central Maine. So in terms of speed, we're looking at both teams to move the ball down the field pretty well. When we take a look at Halldale, we know them pretty well, Rob. We've seen them the last couple of years. Again, they're looking at some speed, but they come in with an all-state goalie. Jade Graham is a junior goalie who's been all-state for the last couple of years, who might make a difference in this particular game. Oak Hill struggled to score, and when you've got an all-state goalie in the goal cage, it makes it even tougher. So Coach Estes for Halldale says to keep an eye on Hannah Rausch, Grace Estes, Tori Tibbetts. Those kids are going to lead offensively. Or defensive players are Grace Leach and Grace Estes. Their current record, Halldale, is 3-2. They've scored 16 goals, so a little bit more punch in the offensive end, and they've allowed 7. So both coaches are saying exactly the same thing. Their rosters might be a little low. There may not be as many players on the rosters as has before, but both these teams are coming from storied programs. So I expect a real close ball game today with plenty of action.
Well, you mentioned the conditions are fantastic here. We're talking to Chris Ranslow. They top dress all the fields here.
Battling with Grace Leach, and we heard coaches singing the praises of Grace Leach back here as a back. So we'll see, I'm sure we'll hear her name several times throughout this game. Oak Hill on the left side now. Grace Beignet's with the ball. Again, coming in towards the middle of the circle. Ball's up in the air just a little bit high. Emma Burgoyne with the ball at center mid, trying to have an entry pass going into the circle at this point. And you'll see your first 5-yard call. One of the things we need to see is when a team has a free hit, the other team has to be 5 yards away. And at this point in the season, if you're not 5 yards, it automatically is upgraded to a corner. So that's why we see this corner for Oak Hill. Nice little combination from Izzy Whitaker. Back into Lexi Pelkey, resulting in a second penalty corner. This time it comes out to Madeline Sikora. Nice defensive play with Grace Leach. Halldale needs to get a big one coming out of here for second and give them a break down this end. We need to get out of this end and over the 50. There's Grace Estes with that hit. Picked up by Izzy Whitaker and going right again to Madeline Sikora, carrying the ball down the right side. Izzy Whitaker with the third penalty corner of the first quarter for Oak Hill. Again, maybe just a little bit of nerves here today, too. This is a rivalry game, and both teams are looking for a win. So we might see a little bit of the nerves here in the beginning. Madeline Sikora with the entry pass, resulting in another corner, which is number 4.
Well, I'm back with you, Coach, but continue on with what you're doing here. We've got a new system we're trying out today, and, of course, everything's working fine pre-game, and they blow the whistle, start the game, and we're off the air, so thanks for staying with us. We got no power. We've got no internet. I'm running the thing off my Bolt EVV to get power, so we're going to make it work.
That was the 4th penalty corner for Oak Hill, but we still haven't had a direct shot on goal. Grace Leach seems to be breaking up those corners, and we thought we'd see that coming out of her.
Grace does work for us here at Munson Media.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah, runs the camera for basketball games
for
no
us. Kidding.
Oh, yeah, Grace, a great one. Her brother Jackson is playing college soccer. Got a lot of kids Central Maine area playing a lot of sports
Absolutely.
at the collegiate level.
A little choppy here right in the beginning. Nothing, no clear passes, just a little bit choppy. Need to spread it out a little bit. Faith McDougal with the ball. Gives it up to Lexi Pelkey.
Want to check with our folks at home, those of you watching. Just chime in, let us know that everything's working okay. Thank you.
It's a nice stop downfield with Grace Estes. An interception along with Grace Leach. So the defense for Halldale's holding up here, Coach. They've allowed 4 corners, but no shots on goal. And now as we look, Halldale's coming down to the other end and trying to get that ball in the circle. Again, we've been playing between the 25, so we need to open the game up a little bit.
Is that part of spacing
yes.
situations, Coach McNally?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we think it's okay now, and if folks watching chime in and let us know that, that will help. Always an adventure here on Munson Media. Poor Coach McNally, she does field hockey with us, and a lot of times before, we used to do them all outside. Remember, Coach?
Oh,
Gardner
absolutely.
would be up on the hill, and I'd be running it off my scooter battery, and then here I'm running off the car and hoping to connect to the internet towers that are pretty close nearby. Got a new setup that we haven't troubleshot very well, so.
Some of these names, Rob, we've seen in years past. Myra Skane, Grace Estes,
Yes.
Grace Leach, Delaney McDonald, Ashlyn Donahue. These are kids. Faith McDougal, these are kids. There's a shot on for Halldale.
And of course, we saw Jade last year
Right.
step it up. They've had good keepers here, the games that we have done from Halldale the past few years. Because we were doing the middle school during COVID. It was, those kids were ecstatic that they were getting their game streamed. It was like ESPN for them.
And you know, we
That
had
was
some
awesome.
good middle school games.
Yeah, St. Mary's was very good, as I
Absolutely.
remember. And
Now, as we said initially, this will tell us something. Halldale's been able to score quite a few this season while Oak Hill has not, but they've relied on their Sierra Lane, the goalkeeper. So we'll see how tough she is with her defense inside the circle.
Little give and go off the corner.
Couple good saves right there. Good for her.
Well, Sierra Lane, a senior, so she's been between the pipes quite a bit here for Oak Hill over the years. Talked to Izzy Whitaker's dad, the sophomore forward before the game. He was here early and said, "Oh, what's going on?" I said, "We're streaming." So we gave him the information, and he was going to check in with some folks at home to get them online. So we're glad that some of the families have been able to get it. Can usually see what's going on. I usually put up the week's activities up on Munsing Media on Sunday. I did it this morning. So we got a busy week, 10 games this week for us.
That is a busy week. A lot of setup, a lot of takedown, a lot of movement, a lot of gas.
Well, no gas anymore, Coach.
Oh, that's right.
I'm all
that's
electric.
Right. I keep forgetting.
It's
that's right.
Fantastic, yeah. I take my little electric car over to Central Maine Community College tomorrow night, set up, plug in. It's awesome. Free electrons, I call them.
That was Chloe Boldick with a nice run down that side, down the right side. Just going to intercept it around the 25, but a nice run, nice individual stick work coming down the right side for Oak Hill.
So Coach McNally was hired to do color, but she had to get going as I was troubleshooting, and she's doing so well. She won the job.
I'm not too sure that's a job I want. You are better than I, that's for sure.
That was not a fake. That was a swing and a miss, but had the same effect almost as a fake. One of the sideline coaches trying to help out a little bit. Might have hurt him. He wouldn't know probably a field hockey ball if he got hit in the forehead with it. I love it.
Goes Izzy Whitaker down. She seems to be one of their go-to players up front. Seems to have her stick on the ball inside.
Yep.
Inside the 50 most of the time. Interesting how Oak Hill likes to go the right side. Halldale, and we saw this last year with Halldale. Halldale uses the middle a lot. So it's a distinct difference in where they travel with the ball.
We're talking about alums off playing. Avery Baker having a heck of a career up at Husson College in 2 sports.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think she shocked him as a freshman last year in both those sports. She stepped on the field and just made immediate impacts.
Well, I think everybody knew her as a field hockey player, and then she only had picked up lacrosse playing for Gardner in the co-op program and had never played before, but she exploded.
And I think there's an athlete, too, that we can probably talk genetics a little bit with her parents, who are both terrific athletes. And Avery, Avery is playing up at Husson along with Leah Pushett. Leah Pushett's playing this year. She didn't play last year as a freshman, but she's playing, and she's a former field hockey player at Gardner. So I hope to see those guys before the season's over.
Samblay. A lot of traffic here on the near side. Getting a good view of this. We'll show you this well. We don't have any elevation here, so when the play's right in front, you see it very, very well. Going to go out down on the side. Unofficial clock, about 1.5 minutes left in the first. Unofficially. We're talking to Chris Ransel, the fine athletic director here at Halldale High School. How many games did he say he had here this week?
Good Lord.
15 games, home games for all the teams this week as it's homecoming week, and he scheduled a bunch of men. So
he will never get home. This is he's here for the duration.
Well, they have porta potties. They'll be all right. A little tent out of the woods.
That's Sutton Sloan with the interception in the midfield area. Nice little pass coming up. I think one of the things we're going to hopefully we'll see, Rob, is he's a little bit longer on the passes. Those short 2 or 3 yard passes aren't accomplishing much, but I think both these teams will break it open with a 10 to 15 yard pass, which will open up the running game. As both coaches had said, both these teams can run, but right now it's a little closed off.
Of course, the teams that run really well, would prefer turf, but you're not going to get a better grass field than this, Coach.
This is beautiful right now.
I mean, there are college fields that aren't close to this. This is amazing turf. Good one here coming up for Halldale as they go up the right side with Tibbetts. Looks like a nice week for games. We'll be back here Wednesday and Thursday for soccer. Boys on Wednesday. And then the girls will play a night game at 7:30. So we played one. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. We will have second quarter. That was a fast quarter. We're back after this. Just know you can't win a game without proper planning and execution. Let Gosline Retirement Planning coach you into a confident retirement. Here at Gosline Retirement, we provide that proper planning and help you utilize a step-by-step approach on all facets of your retirement planning. We provide guidance on income planning, wealth management, understanding taxation, Medicare and long-term care, and legacy and estate planning. We pride ourselves on working hard for those who have worked hard their entire lives. So, schedule your appointment today and let the team at Gosline Retirement Planning So we're back here getting set for the second quarter of action. We still got first on the scoreboard. We got to figure out how to fix that.
Let's take a look at some stats from the first quarter. Halldale had 3 shots on goal. Oak Hill had 1. Halldale had 3 penalty corners. Oak Hill had 4. Oak Hill didn't get direct shots on goal, so there were no goalie saves for Halldale, but we had 2 for Sierra Lane of Oak Hill.
Well, it's a fast 15 minutes.
You don't see a whole lot of timeouts, Rob, as you know,
Yeah.
so that the game does move along pretty fast. Again, Oak Hill's looking to come down the right, which is every team's strong side. Got Izzy Whitaker, who's carried the ball over there. And Sutton Sloan has played a pretty tough midfield for Oak Hill at this point. And again, we're getting another 5-yard warning, so the next time that happens, it'll be upgraded to a penalty corner.
Now, is that for the quarter, Mo, or for the game?
No, it should be for the game.
Okay. Sun has ducked behind the clouds a little bit. And breezy.
It is breezy. I think we were here last year, Rob, when it was breezy and rainy.
Yes.
And it was terrible.
It was.
Criminy.
It was, yeah. And particularly with the equipment out here. And
and cold. And that's Madeline Sikora coming in with an entry pass from the right side. She's had 2 or 3 this game. But again, as we said, we're looking for a quality shot on goal, and the ball hasn't quite gotten to the penalty stroke line, which is the sweet spot of the circle. So once Oak Hill gets to that penalty stroke line, we might probably see a couple shots on goal.
Of course, they've got to beat the very tough to beat Jade Graham. Jade, a multi-sport athlete. Member of the basketball team as well. You've seen those games on Muncie Media. And you said she was an all-state selection.
Yes, she was.
Which puts her as a potential next level keeper, doesn't it, Coach McNally?
It could be, sure,
yeah.
Sure. I mean, anytime that you're recognized by opposing coaches and into that select group of all-state players, you have to have a percentage of votes. So, absolutely. I have no idea whether she's thinking that way, but she's still only a junior, I think,
Right.
Rob.
Yes, she is, yeah.
So.
Well, so many of these kids we see play as freshmen, and they contribute up and through, and we lose track because they've been with it so long.
That's right. And I saw the other night, you probably saw the same thing, a list of field hockey players from Central Maine playing in college.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's what got me thinking about that particular
it's not,
comment.
It's not
that
just
I
field
made.
hockey.
Yeah, but kids playing
Holy.
all over the place. But
right.
in field hockey, I mean, this has all along been a hotbed of field hockey, you know, from all your years coaching and following the game. That
and
Central
more of the
Maine
state is getting involved in it, Rob.
Yeah.
When I first started coaching, the South was a little bit behind in terms of field hockey play. But I'll tell you right now, there are some teams in the South that are just phenomenal. Cheverus being one.
I saw a clip of a player from Cheverus, and you know who it is, Mo.
Yeah,
take the ball all the way from the midfield, all the way down. I call it tricky dribbles. Weaving her way through players, self-pass to herself, put it through the goalie's legs, ran around, picked it up, put it home. What a clip that is. That's up on Facebook if you get a chance to see it. My gosh, what a play that was.
They've got 2 players, Johnson sisters down there, that are just phenomenal. They'll both go on, I'm assuming, to D1 schools if they want to continue. So, yeah, play is phenomenal down there. It's in a lot of areas. Gorham, I watched Gorham and Cheverus the other day, and it was a great game. So the play's picked up down there, but the other, let's watch this for a minute.
Yeah,
Coming
got a chance.
Ooh, nice little pickup.
That was Tibbetts with a good look there. Tibbetts
Absolutely.
got some air under it, and
that's what you got to do. Once you get in that penalty stroke area, if you can bring that ball up just off the ground a little bit, it makes the goalie stand up, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to stop that ball. A straight ball on the goalie pads is easier than one that's bouncing up in the air.
lane's been equal so far. Well, that threat goes by the boards for Halldale. That was some good opportunity there. Ashlyn Donahue, just before the whistle blew, looked like she was going to get set up.
That was Tori Tibbetts coming down on the right side. She took that, as you noticed, she took that free hit very quickly. The defense was back on their heels, and it gave her the opportunity to get the ball into the circle. So, nice play. Oh, just wide.
Sailed it wide. That was a great opportunity.
Is that Mira Skane, maybe? I'm not really sure, but that was a great opportunity. Nice cross ball.
Hannah Rauch, I think it was, number 8.
Route, yeah.
Just a freshman.
And Coach speaks highly of her. I think they're expecting some big things out of her. She's had a great preseason, had a great first couple games as a freshman. So I know Coach speaks highly of her.
You're going to love this, Coach McNally. My granddaughter Mackenzie is playing youth field hockey here in RSU too.
No kidding.
Yeah, they've got it every Thursday afternoon.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, when we get a second, I'll tell a funny story about it. So anyway, we do.
Well, her grandmother can help her out a little bit,
yes,
can't she?
Yeah,
absolutely.
She's thrilled. Yeah.
I bet she is.
She is thrilled. You know, so Mackenzie, just in first grade, they signed her up for field hockey because she wanted to do it. And they took her to field hockey, and she says, "Where's the ice rink?" She thought she was going for hockey.
Oh, my gosh.
But she liked it.
Good.
She got a little backpack with a stick and
But you can't
cleats
overemphasize
and,
either, Rob, how
gosh.
important those youth programs are.
Oh, my gosh.
Coming up through.
Yeah.
I know Halldale in the last few years has really established a youth program, and it's helped their program. And I know in ours in Gardner, we've got well over 70 kids playing in the youth program, all being coached by former Gardner players. One of the coordinators of the youth program is a Coney player, actually, but she came to Big Cat when she was a little kid, and her mom went to Gardner, Lauren Sternard. So we've got those are just how important those things are. You just
absolutely.
Can't emphasize them enough, because these kids are coming up and they're way more talented than some of the teams from years ago.
Lane came out there, knocked it away. Good read by her, being aggressive. See Mr. Rob Kennedy watching. Rob will join us for soccer this week, Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe he's watching right from here. Going to come in out to the field after school. And we'll have a night game, 7:30 on Thursday. Got a big boys game on Wednesday, Maranacook and Halldale. That's going to be a corker.
Noticed on that corner, the ball's got to come outside the circle before you can take a shot. And if it doesn't come out crisply outside the circle, then the shot is negligible. And that's what happened on that particular corner. Couldn't get it off.
That was Oak Hill's best opportunity here in the second. So they call that dangerous because there were players in the area.
Exactly. Looks like Oak Hill's trying to push the pace a little bit, and I don't blame them.
Good little battle royale going on down across the way.
Yeah, it looked like Brooke Mishu, I think, for Halldale versus Sutton Sloan. And Sutton's done a good job in the midfield, but as we've seen in the years before, Brooke Mishu's got some gas in those shoes. If she gets going with the ball, we might see some real quick transition.
Chance here.
It's the third penalty corner of this quarter for Halldale. But again, we haven't seen a quality shot. The ball's got to come out from the corner crisp. It's got to go just outside the circle, and it's got to go out quickly.
Faith McDougall there, awaiting the pass potentially. Tori Tibbetts also.
One of the things that frustrates you as a coach, Rob, on these penalty corners is you don't get shots off. And sometimes you have design plays, but as I used to tell my kids, I don't know if these coaches do, but the first person with the shot takes it. We don't want you passing all over everywhere. If you've got a shot, you've got an open shot, if you can pass it, you probably can shoot it. So get that shot off. Hold the defense true to what they should be doing. Sometimes teams use too many passes and it negates your corner opportunities. So
No bad shot, Coach, right?
exactly.
Better of the play here in the second has been for the Bulldogs, but nothing to show for it. Chris Wheeler doing our camera, and he's perched up on the bleachers, kind of. Got the tripod threaded up on a couple of layers of the bleachers to give it just a little elevation. We toyed with the idea of taking the camera all the way over to the press box and trying to zoom in, but the more I look at that, the more daunting that distance is.
There, that's the right idea, though. Get the ball at the top, control it, get your shot off. Make the goalie play it, and get a secondary shot.
Yeah, somebody scored on the second half, the rebound. Keepers get in position for the initial shot, but oftentimes they can't be in position for the rebound.
Exactly. This is number 5 for Halldale. See, that's what I mean about an extra pass. But this may work. You never know. An area of concern at this point, Rob, is we've had 3 penalty corners with no shot on goal. I've got a card, Rob. So number 10's going to the naughty chair, but I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure what that was.
I think it was for 5 minutes. Is that typical 5?
Wow, no.
No. How many? Yeah, Chris says
She's
yeah.
number 5.
Well, here's an opportunity for the Oak Hill Raiders to use that advantage. See if they can't get established offensively.
The only thing I can think of with a 5-minute yellow instead of a 2-minute green, a 5-minute yellow, she might have replied to something and said something that maybe she wasn't supposed to.
Illegal use of linguistics.
That's it exactly. Maybe. I'm not really sure.
Never happened to me as a coach. I'm sure you never had
no, of course not.
Issue at all. Gosh.
Oh.
Of course, the advantage we had with us being on fields and not in gymnasiums is you get away with a little more. That's a good through ball.
That is a nice entry pass. Just exactly what we're looking for. Makes defense go back on their heels. They've got to run backwards to pick it up. Heads up right into the penalty stroke line.
So you're looking at the kids in the shadows, and we move out. It's highly contrasting. So at least for the Bulldogs, this 5 minutes is going to be in chunks here. It's not all at once. It'll roll over into the third.
Right.
Good job. Go 7. Come on, Blue.
Not much decided yet, Coach. We got another half to play here to see who's going to come out victorious in this one. And this may have overtime written all over it. But we'll see. So we'll take a break. we'll hear from our great friends at Central Maine Community College, one of our anchor sponsors, Gause Live Retirement Planning, another great sponsor of ours, and the Hutchinson Family Sports Foundation. They're our anchor sponsors, as well as Bulldog Strong. IGA is one of our local sponsors here, sponsoring in strategic real estate services.
When I walked through these doors, I was just blown away.
This is insane. It just caught my attention immediately.
This is the first place that I've seen like this decked out. It's pretty sweet.
This is a grand opening for our esports arena. We're talking 1,600 square feet of pure technology.
Like, I'm shaking being here. It's so cool.
There's nothing like it in Maine. We're ahead of the curve here.
It's definitely a big market, something you can make a living on.
I've always had an interest in esports.
So we're treating it like an extension of our athletic program. And then in addition to that, we're starting an esports management degree program.
It's just a different community for me to be a part of.
It really just helps me just be myself. It's just really fun.
This will bring students together. That's what's happening, and that's what esports is.
To me, it's beautiful, and I want to live here.
Helping people is kind of ingrained into me. I am so glad that I chose to be here. It's a really great program.
The instructors are super helpful.
They really do set you up to be successful in the field.
The new hospital simulation lab here at CMCC is a great addition.
It's as close to replicating real life as you can get.
We did an IV lab.
With a mannequin, it's nice to get your toes wet before you jump into a clinical setting.
Deep breath.
CMCC is the best place to start nursing. It's challenging, but you are learning.
You have a smaller size classroom, smaller ratio to instructors.
It's affordable.
It really provided me relief that I'm not going to accrue a lot of debt.
I needed to set myself and my family up for success after.
I'm going to come out of this able to actually practice as an RN in the real field. It's a wonderful opportunity.
We are Bulldog Strong. We are a local organization committed to kids, committed to our community, dedicated to teaching the next generation how to give their time and talents to make a difference, and supporting those affected by cancer. Bulldog Strong Basketball was established in 2013 when my own mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I saw firsthand her struggles, doubts, fears, and her amazing fight to live. Cancer does not discriminate, and so many of us have been directly affected by the disease. Our basketball family has grown over the past 8 years, and we continue in our mission to provide opportunities like our summer camp, All-Star Showcase, and our 3-day invitational to raise money for those in need. Through competition on the court, we learn so much about how sports can shape our lives in a positive way. We are passionate in what we do. We are proud of our Bulldog Strong family. We are incredibly thankful for the support we have received. Kids, community, and caring for one another is who we are. Remember, no one fights alone.
No, you can't win a game without proper planning and execution. Let Gauzeline Retirement Planning coach you into a confident retirement. Here at Gauzeline Retirement, we provide that proper planning and help you utilize a step-by-step approach on all facets of your retirement planning. We provide guidance on income planning, wealth management, understanding taxation, Medicare and long-term care, and legacy and estate planning. We pride ourselves on working hard for those who have worked hard their entire lives. So, schedule your appointment today and let the team at Gauzeline Retirement Planning put together a retirement game plan for you.
Same thing as always. That's the front of the net. Little things to make you what you are.
0, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0.
Ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Sit right here.
grown so much and it's very beneficial to the criminal justice system. I was always one of those kids that watched Forensic Files. That was something I loved. Just a science person all around, I always have been. The instructors are some of the top forensic experts in Maine. They really know what they're talking about. They've been there, done that. CMCC is very lucky to have people like this. I'm in Intro to Criminal Justice and Criminal Law and Report Writing. It's a lot of the baseline of things I have to be knowledgeable about. I want to do crime scene photography. The forensic science program is preparing me to start thinking like what's important here, what do I need to look for like right off the bat. You never know what you're going to find.
We're back to the Simmons Complex here on the campus of Halldale High School, and we've had a scoreless first half of play, pretty equal so far in this one. Rob Munsing, Mo McNally here, and we can take a look at some of the halftime stats here with Coach.
Yeah, as we take a look, Rob, we knew it was going to be a fairly even ball game. The differential right now is shots on goal. Halldale's had 5 shots on goal this half to Oak Hill's 1. So Oak Hill, and we've seen Oak Hill come down the field. They've gotten to about the 25. They've had a couple nice entry passes, but what we don't see is the follow-up in the circle with Oak Hill at this particular point. So the ball's got to come in the circle a little quicker, get to the penalty stroke area to set up a secondary shot. In terms of penalty corners, Halldale's had 8. They had 5 in the second quarter. Oak Hill started strong. They had 4 in the first quarter and none in the second quarter. So it's 8-4 penalty corners. Goalie saves. The Oak Hill goalie, Sierra Lane, has had 4 saves on shots on goal. And Halldale's goalie, Jade, has yet to make a save in the goal area. So as we take a look, and I'm sure the coaches are saying this over there, I think Oak Hill, their coach is saying, we're getting downfield, but we got to get it in the circle. We got to get the shots off. We got to get in the circle a little quicker. They're going to the right, which is the right area, but maybe inside the 25, get the ball in the circle a little quicker. So Oak Hill's got to jump on the offensive end. Halldale is, again, have got the shots in the circle, but maybe making 1 or 2 extra passes when they don't have to. Get the shot off real quick, make the goalie come out and make the save on the first one, and then grab the secondary, the save of the secondary one for Halldale. So Halldale's had more offensive opportunities than Oak Hill, but you never know what the second half may bring. I think, as we said in the beginning, both coaches knew this was going to be a tight ball game with 0-0 at half. You mentioned it. It certainly has all the air to a overtime ball game. Neither coach probably wants to do that because both coaches have got limited subs. There aren't a whole lot on either bench, so nobody wants to go into overtime with that.
Well, we apologize. As I said, we have a new piece of equipment, and we thought that the feed would continue out if we went to put one of our other sponsors in there, and we clicked on it, and you saw that screen come up. So something that we've learned about this little get-up, but it's a good get-up. One of the problems we have with doing games out here is, bringing our computers and things out when there's a threat of rain. This thing we can get unplugged in about 10 seconds and be off ready to go. I want to thank Coach for stepping in. As I said, she won the play-by-play job on Munsing Media. There wasn't very fierce competition because I was doing it before, and Coach certainly lends her level of expertise. She reminded me there was one game here where something was going wrong or something like that, and either that or maybe it was an old man problem I had as I waved her, and then I gave her the old, start talking. I think I went like this, start talking, and off I went. I came back about 10 minutes later. Oh, I know what it was, Coach. We're having a soccer game at the same time. We're having trouble over at soccer. So I sprinted across the field and fixed the situation that was going on soccer, sprinted back here, and came back over, and I was done for the game.
I looked around, and it was the ghost of Rob Munsing. Has anybody seen Rob? So
we'll be picking up games here at Halldale the rest of the week as well, and down at the college tomorrow night, Central Maine Community College, softball tomorrow night. Wednesday, we have boys soccer. Thursday, girls soccer here at Halldale. And on Friday, we have volleyball down at the college, Central Maine Community College, and volleyball. Nate Munson will be down there. I'll be bringing you Gardner football. We will have the John Burgess Award that night. So that's
a special one.
It surely is. So we have to bring this screen up to start.
Interesting to note that both coaches here, Rob, start with three-man fronts. There are certainly a lot of different systems. And those people who have a lot of confidence in their forwards go with the three-man front, knowing that the three forwards will score. So both of these teams have got three-man fronts. Oak Hill's going with a three-man defense coming in, so they're a 3-3-1. Just a little different.
And we don't have a penalty clock, but it's 11 on 10 for probably a couple of minutes. Nice start here for Halldale as they move smartly through as Tori Tibbetts with some left-to-right action.
You can see that's a great example of taking that quickly, too. She's taking those free hits real quickly, and it increases the opportunities for her if she picks that up, puts Oak Hill on their heels defensively. So if she continues that, it should open up the inside for her and for Halldale. Uh-oh, we got to play it down, Rob. I'm not sure who it is.
That was kind of far away, just all the way up to just off the goal cage area.
This looks like she might be holding up an ankle, maybe.
Players will take a knee and get the trainer, Jill. Jill will come out.
Looks like it's Grace Estes, I think, number 5.
Took one right off the knee. Couldn't have.
Hate to see that. That ball is hard. And the area that's not protected is right between the top of the shin guard and your thigh.
So, Chris, if you can look at the clock for me, we'll reset it correctly. Chris says 13:49. And I figured out how not to have that come up on the screen. We use our phone to control everything. So we're learning here too, boys and girls. It's the old teachers can learn. So, Coach, with the 5-minute infraction, do you have to wait for a stoppage in play to come back?
No. No, the scorekeeper should be keeping the time, and she should be waved on at any time after her penalty's over.
It's going to be a squander for Oak Hill if they can't generate something with the infraction. They've had 11 on 10 here for 5 minutes of play. Ooh, Tibbetts was breaking out. Now she's going to go.
By the looks of Tibbetts, she's telling these kids she wants this game speed up a little bit. She wants a little bit more speed up here. Take this thing quickly. Let's get some passes upfield and break into this end quickly. That's Ashlyn Donahue, Rob. We mentioned her name several times last year. She was a defensive stalwart for Halldale, and has continued to be. Does nothing flashy, but does everything correctly. Brings the ball out to the side when she's got it, looking to clear out of the circle. She knows her defensive assignments all the time. She plays a great defense for Halldale. This is a nice little series for Oak Hill. They're putting the pressure on Halldale here, the opening of this particular quarter. But just can't seem to get the ball into the circle. We've had 3 or 4 of these right in a row, Robin. As a coach, it'll drive you nuts. There's stick interferences, so the hook part of the stick is coming back and interfering with the natural progression of the ball from your opponent. And it's usually on a back tackle. Somebody gets beat, and you turn around and you put your stick in, and it causes an interference. We've had 3 or 4 right in a row here. And instead of using your speed to get your feet around, you're using your stick, which is a little kind of a lazy play to get the ball. And it causes a free hit for the other team, and we've had 3 in a row here.
Tibbetts had a good run going there.
She did.
We heard that, Fisher, you may have also, that she was fending the defender off with her elbow.
Nice ball. Nice little pass. That skill we just saw, Rob, is used quite a bit on the turf. It's called a reverse stick pass. However, in my opinion, and in my opinion only, high school kids are using that way too much. When they've got time to get their feet around, they're stronger with their stick on their strong side. So to use a reverse stick, especially on grass, tends to not go where you want it to go. Again, my opinion.
I highly value your opinion, Coach Mo.
Well, it's
all things field hockey.
One of those things that you certainly can argue either way for, but it's most often a turf skill, and it works better on turf, obviously, because the ball stays where you want it to. Tide's turned a little bit, Rob. Oak Hill's had it this whole second half. Nice cross pass. Nice save. Beautiful entry from the right side. Came right across the penalty stroke line. Had Oak Hill had somebody there with a stick on it, might have gone in, but Jade came out and said, nope, that's not happening.
Obviously, that 5-minute penalty is up. Teams at equal strength now.
Again, Donahue with a clear coming out.
Well, you got to think if either team can
Looking for
cash
Faith
one
McDougal.
in, huh?
Oh, it could be it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. There haven't been a whole lot of chances to begin with, so one breakaway could mean the ball game. I can't tell you how many times that happened to me when I was coaching. We'd dominate a ball game. We'd have 10 shots on goal to their 2, and all of a sudden they break out, go down, and score on 1. Oh, my gosh. Worst feeling in the world.
Good territorial play here. That was Tibbetts again. She's had a strong offensive game.
She has.
So as I said, we're out in the without power, without internet, but we're making it work and we're loving it.
There it is. There it is. That started with Delaney McDonald outside the circle. Took that free hit quickly, put it into the circle area, and in it went.
Well, just as we were talking about, will one goal hold up? We're about halfway, a little more than halfway. 3/4 of the way through the third. 5:41 left. Unofficial time, but I think we're pretty close. Off a couple of seconds, Chris. So now if you're Oak Hill, Coach McNally, you've really got to step it up.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Offensively.
And what we've said has hurt them. This half, in particular, they're down inside the 25, but they still have only had one shot on goal, one quality shot on goal. So they've got to get into the circle quickly. There can't be too much passing. It's got to get in the circle quickly because their offensive opportunities have been negligible since they started.
And, of course, got a premier goaltender they've got to try to beat as well.
Absolutely. And this goal turns the tide a little bit, too. Halldale's got a little bit more pep in their step. They know they're a goal ahead. They know they want to get the ball in their half of the field and keep it down their end. So we might see the tide change here towards the Halldale end.
Tibbet just got a stick, I think, up across the upper chest.
Now, right now, send it. Nice ball. Should be a corner.
Donahue was right there, as she usually is, reading the pass, but good take that time by Oak Hill. Gets him a corner.
That ball came right across the penalty stroke line. What they didn't have was a center forward up on the line. She picked it up on the other end and created the corner, but there wasn't that push in the center of the circle.
A little breezy up here on the hill, as it always is. But what a day for field hockey.
Ooh.
That was a tester.
That's interesting she played that. That ball came from outside the circle. Had she let that go into the goal cage, it would have been a 16 coming out. So it's interesting that she played that.
Lexi Pelkey with a nice play at midfield, but Tibbetts will get it back quickly. They want to go, as you said, Coach McNally.
Right. shot. Save. Tori Tibbetts with a shot.
Field's tilting in favor of Halldale here a little bit. As you said, after the goal, they seem to have a little extra bounce. They've got about 2 minutes here.
They're moving the ball a lot cleaner than they did the first half as well. It's not quite as, you don't see as quite as jumbled as it was first half. They're using nice 5 to 10 yard passes. They're certainly looking for Tori Tibbetts in the middle of the field. That seems to be their go-to offensive player. They're taking their free hits a little quicker, opening the field up, as we see right here.
Yeah, and Grace Estes quickly turned it.
It's the first penalty corner for Halldale this quarter. And again, we'll see how this sets up. We want to get that shot off as quickly as we possibly can. Get it on the goalie pads.
Hear the wind through the headsets, can't you, folks?
Nice shot.
Nice shot and a nice save as well. Boy, Lane was equal there. She had to be, as Tibbetts with a bomb. She got some leverage on that one.
Halldale's putting the pressure on. They're not going to be satisfied with just one, it looks like, Rob.
Starting to tilt the field a little bit. So they'll play this through with 10 seconds left. We'll play the corner through. So we'll take a break. When we come back, quarter 4 coming up. We'll hear from our good friends at Bulldog Strong. Hey, want to wish Ryan Medora a very happy birthday. What an organization he and Jamie put together, and with all their support.
Absolutely.
With that Bulldog Strong. Let's hear from them now.
We are Bulldog Strong. We are a local organization committed to kids, committed to our community, dedicated to teaching the next generation how to give of their time and talents to make a difference, and supporting those affected by cancer. Bulldog Strong Basketball was established in 2013 when my own mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I saw firsthand her struggles, doubts, fears, and her amazing fight to live. Cancer does not discriminate, and so many of us have been directly affected by the disease. Our basketball family has grown over the past 8 years, and we continue in our mission to provide opportunities like our summer camp, All-Star Showcase, and our 3-day invitational to raise money for those in need. Through competition on the court, we learned so much about how sports can shape our lives in a positive way. We are passionate in what we do. We are proud of our Bulldog Strong family. We are incredibly thankful for the support we have received. Kids, community, and caring for one another is who we are. Remember, no one fights alone.
We're back here. We get one more quarter, 15 minutes to go. Oak Hill will need to answer the Halldale goal, occurring in the third period, about halfway through. Actually, about 3/4 through that third period. Only tally of the game.
I'm not sure who got it either, Rob. To tell you the truth, there were 2 down there, and it came from, I think it was.
Well,
I think Tibbetts was down in there. McDougal was down in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure.
Chris.
20? It was McDougal.
Faith McDougal on the goal. Thank you, Chris. That's why we have Chris. He's the Radar Riley of Munson Media. Knows everything.
He is quite a guy, isn't he?
Oh, he is.
Okay, this is it for Oak Hill. They've got to get down in the circle and have some meaningful shots on goal, create some offensive opportunities either with corners. But the last few minutes, Halldale's been down to their end the last half of the third quarter, so, and they're off again. See some individual stick skills with Tori Tibbetts.
Want to let our fans know watching at home, we know it's the 4th. Apparently the scoreboard I picked is like a hockey scoreboard, not field hockey, so it's got like 3 periods in it rather than 4, but we'll fix that. But other than that.
Nice shot.
Multiple opportunities. And Estes fit it right back in. Well, everybody that wore shorts and short sleeves is regretting that decision today.
It is getting a little cooler, that's for sure. We just saw a call we don't see very often. Once you have a free hit going into the circle, the offensive player with the free hit has to move the ball 5 yards before it enters the circle. The Halldale player that just had that ball didn't move it quite 5, so they lost it.
Tibbetts.
Nice ball.
These two teams back-to-back, I think, in the most current heel points. And looks like Class C's, you're going to have to beat that Rambler bus to.
Wow.
They are something. They beat Class A.
Messalonsky, yeah.
And Messalonsky beat Skowhegan.
Winthrop is. Winthrop has been tough for the last, I don't know how long. Sharon Colton didn't start the program there, I don't think, but her legacy remains intact there. And then Jess Merrill took it over after Sharon. Sharon stayed on as a JV coach and then came back for a year after Jess left as a varsity coach again. So Sharon Colton's got her name over that all over that Winthrop program, and they have been highly successful. We used to scrimmage them every year, and the reason we did is because they were one of the stronger teams that we'd see.
Well, the year that Gardner won up at Winslow, Winthrop did too.
That's right. That's right.
Those were regionals, I believe, right?
Yes.
Inadvertent trip there. Olivia French got tumbled down. Bounces right back up.
Good job. Way to keep it low.
I want to thank Chris Ranslow, the fine athletic director here. Keeps me abreast of any changes in schedules, and we've got something going on across the way. Somebody's going to a confession.
We're hitting the naughty chair again for not moving.
Naughty chair, I love it.
The opposing team has to move out of 5 yards out of the way.
Yeah, you said that would be.
And that's sometimes it's tough to call though because the official's right there, so he saw it. But sometimes if the opponent is trying to get out of the way and the team with the ball dribbles right towards her, there's nothing she can do. But that official's right on top of it, so he determined that she didn't get out of the way. So onto the naughty chair we are.
When I came, I wonder what those chairs were for over there. I love it.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah. Wow.
It's been a persistent second half of Halldale pressure. Hannah Rauch, the talented freshman.
Nice work.
Kicked out by Lane. Yeah.
Ooh, there it is. Nice pass. That was Michaela Norton, I believe. Gets number 9.
Michaela, number 15, just a freshman. Picks up the tally. Makes it 2-0.
I was just about to say that Oak Hill, the defense had stepped up because Halldale has gotten 5 shots, direct shots on goal, 2 more penalty corners, and the Oak Hill goalie Sierra Lane has come up big with 6 saves. So, in spite of the pressure from Halldale, prior to that second goal, Oak Hill had stepped up big and was playing decent defense.
Rob Munzing, Mo McNally, here from Munzing Media. Chris Wheeler doing our production, camera work, I should say. Production is almost left up here to the little new device we have, and we're learning that. So we've had some stumbles and bumbles, and has made me mumble at times, but we're learning it. But I really like it. I think you folks looking at this picture at home, Chris is giving a great shot of Oak Hill right here across the way. It is crisp and clear, looks beautiful. So let us know at home how you're able to view this. One of the things we do lose, and we will try to find a way to figure that out, is replay. When we bring all our computer stuff, we have that capability. But for down and dirty, quick and outside, I'm liking it, Coach.
Good. From a layman's point of view, there's not as much equipment on the table, so it looks like it's easier for you to...
Oh, for sure. A lot easier. And a lot of this stuff is running on battery. Actually, it's plugged into my Bolt EVU, which is EUV, electric utility vehicle. So somebody said to me, aren't you afraid of running your battery down? I said, the battery is as big as the car in this thing. So, no, we're not running the battery down. No problem.
Now, we saw Oak Hill number 4 open up with an air dribble, which is kind of a neat little offensive play when the ball is up on the stick and dribbles off the stick. The opponents can't touch it because once you touch the stick, it's stick obstruction. But the problem is, offensively, you got to watch where you're going. Because if you take that air dribble into a crowd of people, it becomes a dangerous play.
And it's a little easier, isn't it, Coach, on turf to get that ball up on your stick?
It sure is. It sure is.
Into a divot or anything else like that.
Turf's got a little give to it, so you can get the toe of the stick underneath the ball. Whereas here, you're apt to, not on Halldale's field because it looks great, but you're apt to find a hole, and it's not as easy to get it up and get it balanced.
I like what Halldale's doing by keeping the pressure on. That's the best way to play defense, Coach, isn't it? You know, parking the other team's, defensive end, not your defensive end. Keep the pressure on, and if you're down there, they're not scoring.
And I'm sure that's probably one of the things that Coach Estes said. Let's keep the ball on our 50. At this point, you're 2 up, so we can use the width of the field, run the clock down as much as we possibly can. And as we've said all game, Oak Hill hasn't had a lot of opportunities, so we don't want to give them any at all.
Tibbetts crossed that ball all the way across, and Michaela knew it and couldn't track it down. Michaela's got the second goal. We'll have our post-game awards. We'll have the Capsa Pizza Offensive Player of the Game and the Northeast Nutrition Energy Defensive Player of the Game. Those will be for the Bulldogs. Always the players of the game for the Halldale kids here as the local sponsors. Good reverse stick there.
Nice little run with Delaney McDonald. And again, a nice little pass, leading Myra Skane up the left side.
So, do you know, Coach, are you going to be involved in the state championship coverage on the NFHS network like
I
you have
don't
been?
know. I hope so. I have
They'll
a great
call-
time doing it.
Yeah, they'll call you about 6 hours before. See if you want to do it.
It was about 24 hours. No, in all fairness, it really wasn't. I had enough time to get some information from teams, and it's a great vantage point. It's going to be at Lewiston High School this year.
Lewiston, beautiful place to do games. We've done a lot of games on there. Of course, we did the Lobster Bowl just recently, last 2 years from Lewiston, and did a Halldale soccer game down there when the field was wet here. I think it was a year or so ago. They played down there, played Waynfleet down there. We went down, did it down at Lewiston. Jason Fuller, one of the fine athletic directors.
Yeah, he's been there for quite some time,
in the
hasn't
state.
he?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As I said, I don't know if I'll get the call, but if I do, I do, and if I don't, I'll go to the games anyway.
Yeah. Lewiston's perfect central location for the teams coming from all over the state.
Right. And there must be, I haven't been there since the new field, but there must be plenty of parking.
Yes, there
easy
is.
access, those types of things that the MPA is looking for.
Everything, yep.
So first penalty corner in the fourth for Oak Hill, and only the second in the second half.
Yeah, they've been limited, haven't
So here's
they?
an opportunity if they can get a good shot off.
Olivia
But Hallsdale-
French to insert. Terms are coming back, Coach.
Shoot it. There you go. Your coaches all the time saying to kids, inside the circle, keep your stick down. That was a perfect example. When you take your stick off the ball and the other team puts a stick on it, you inevitably lose it. So if your stick stays down, stays on the ball as much as you possibly can, your opportunities go up. But if you take your stick off the ball, the opponents get it, and then out of the circle it goes.
Wind whipping up here on the hill.
Temperature's changed a little bit too, Rod, since the beginning of the game. This is great play by Delaney McDonald to clear that ball out. It stretches out the Oak Hill defense, comes right to the side. Things don't seem to be as cluttered anymore. She cleared it out. Great series.
So we have a Gardner game coming up. Field hockey. They'll be playing Lawrence. Lawrence, one of the great programs usually. We're going to get timeout. Stop
Yeah,
the
they've
clock.
been particularly strong in the last few years. Got a great player in Maddie Niles. So it'll be a good tilt, I think.
Maddie, of course, one of the pliable athletes with Greg Glenn. Greg doing a great job with some of the kids all over the country there with the new NIL regulations where kids can get some recompensement for their name. So we're going to get Jill out here to do her work. And
It's like Sutton Sloan got hit in the hand, I think. She's played a very solid game for Oak Hill in the midfield.
remember, we are in the fourth. I have to find a different scoreboard next time. We've got some things to work on. Going to add some more sponsors in here. Got to get our capsules and Northeast Nutrition ads in, and the Hutchinson Family Sports Foundation. I just made them a new ad, so we'll get all those in, and we'll have those ready to go next time. Didn't even know if this was going to work. I had the whole backup kit in my car, Mo. If this didn't work, the old guy had been scrambling to set the computer up and everything, but so far so good. Put a bouncy ball there. I don't think you probably have a stat for stick time. Maybe at the collegiate level they might, but Tori Tibbetts, I think, is leading the game in stick time.
I think you're absolutely correct. And when you take a look at those goals, the 2 goals developing, she had her stick involved in each one of them. So.
Good job, Saren. Okay, Blue, here's your chance. Come on, Madeline. Good work, kid, good work. It's all right, it's all right.
This is when a coach looks at a captain and says, take as much time as you can.
Yeah.
Let the clock run down. Halldale doesn't need the scores. Keep the ball wide. Create a corner and take your time setting it up.
Run down the rest of the week of action. That includes several more games here up at the Simmons Complex on Wednesday. 4 o'clock kickoff. A big soccer game, a boys game. Marana Cook, always a perennial power. They'll be in here to take on the Bulldogs. Bulldogs having a fantastic season this year in the boys' ranks as well, so that's going to be a high-powered affair. And then a night game. This is homecoming week. They're going to play on Thursday night. That'll be a 7:30 start. I'll have to get the coffee into me, stay up late that night. And Rob Kennedy will be along for both of those calls for us. He's a soccer analyst and play-by-play person. He does it all. He's a fantastic play-by-play guy. Does all our Central Maine Community College soccer. Has done some UMA soccer for us. So the game will be in good hands that night. Chris and I will be along. We'll come along to Chris will do the camera, do the production here, seeing Halldale across the way. Then on Friday, 2 games. We've got Central Maine Community College women's volleyball. Of course, it's just women's now. And that is an up-and-coming growing sport.
Oh, my gosh, isn't it?
It really is. Very exciting. And
the teams in Central Maine seem to have picked up those skills pretty quickly.
Yes.
Some highly talented kids.
Yeah, Emily Grady from Gardner Area High School off their great team last year. She's playing at Central Maine Community College this year. So we'll have that Friday. And we'll have football Friday as Nokomis will be in. It'll be the John Burgess Award night. And I talked to Coach today and his wife Marge, and he's planning on coming to the game Friday.
Oh,
so
great.
We are tickled about that. So, and his son Matt may be by as well, one of the coaches at Bridgeton Academy. So lots going on. Here's Tibbetts again. So we're lagging on the clock a little bit, just about 2:15. We're just slightly behind. Sun is behind the pines at Halldale High School. Beautiful setting up here on the hill for all manner of athletic endeavors, I should say. The fields are beautiful. A good team defensive game here for the Bulldogs, Coach McNally.
Right, and we knew coming in that Jade Graham is one of the premier goalies, but she really hasn't affected this game. I think the back, so you take a look at Ashlyn Donahue and Grace Leach and Brooke Mishu. Some of these kids have played steady and cut down the opportunities for Oak Hill to take shots to begin with.
Yeah, usually you have a shutout and you're going, oh, the keeper was great. But
right.
And Jade's certainly a terrific keeper, but not called upon today to have to.
Pretty quiet in her
do
end.
Too much, yeah. Kind of an equal scrum here for the first quarter, and then I think the Bulldogs set the pace a little bit. from about the midway point of the second, they've really dominated.
I think you're right, and I think the stats will prove that.
Move up, Blue, move up!
Ooh, there's a shot save.
That saves the shutout right there as a great opportunity. Rene. Well, that'll be the final, 2-0. So coach is going to get the final stats done. And we'll take a quick break when we come back. We'll talk to you about upcoming games as well as our players of the game when we come back to the Simmons Complex after these messages.
We are Bulldog Strong. We are a local organization committed to kids, committed to our community, dedicated to teaching the next generation how to give their time and talents to make a difference, and supporting those affected by cancer. Bulldog Strong Basketball was established in 2013 when my own mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I saw firsthand her struggles, doubts, fears, and her amazing fight to live. Cancer does not discriminate, and so many of us have been directly affected by the disease. Our basketball family has grown over the past 8 years, and we continue in our mission to provide opportunities like our summer camp, All-Star Showcase, and our 3-day invitational to raise money for those in need. Through competition on the court, we learned so much about how sports can shape our lives in a positive way. We are passionate in what we do. We are proud of our Bulldog Strong family. We are incredibly thankful for the support we have received. Kids, community, and caring for one another is who we are. Remember, no one fights alone.
Back to the Simmons Complex, Rob Munsing, along with Chris Wheeler on our camera. Coach McNally stepping in, doing a great job on the play-by-play today. She's hired. I've made an executive decision here at Munsing Media. It's you, Coach.
I might have to appeal this decision.
Well, we kind of did a co-job, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We did,
yes, we
because
did.
you're busy doing stats and other things. And so coaches get the final stats. We'll turn it over to Coach McNally here to wrap this up.
As we said, Halldale came into their own second half. They finished up with 14 shots on goal, 8 of them in the second half. Oak Hill had 4 shots on goal. 3 of them in the second half. Penalty corners were the same. Halldale had 13 in the second half, 13 for the game, and 6 for Oak Hill for the game. Goalie saves. Jade didn't see a whole lot of shots. She saw 4 of them, made 4 saves, where the Oak Hill goalie Sierra made 13 saves. So we end up with 1 goal for Halldale scored in the third quarter by Faith McDougal. The second one scored in the fourth quarter by Michaela Norton. And makes it 2-0 Halldale. As we take a look at Game Awards and Player of the Game, the offensive player of the game, I think, is Tori Tibbetts, who had a stick in both goals. She started the ball from inside the 25. Most of the balls going into the circle came off her stick at one time or another. So she had a great game for Halldale. And the defensive player of the game is Ashlyn Donahue, who stopped just about every ball that came through the defensive end. Had some nice clears coming out, good long clears, sees the ball well, sees the field well, and had some great clears coming out to her wings for Halldale. So Ashlyn Donahue is defensive player of the game. Tori Tibbetts is the offensive player of the game.
So Tori will get a Capsa's pizza, and so won't I tonight, because I just got a text from my son Andy. Says, Dad, how about bringing home a Capsa's pizza? So we will do that for supper at the Munsing household tonight, and we encourage you to visit our friends at Capsa Pizza, as well as Susie Brennan over there at Northeast Nutrition and Energy. Those are our 2 sponsors for our post-game awards, and we thank them, and their ads will be added into this little device that we just got, and we'll be able to run those out and all of that. Well, we certainly want to thank you for being here with us this afternoon. I want to thank Coach McNally for a stellar job here, and she's very flexible. She worked a lot with me over the years. And we did a lot of years in middle school in the same homeroom, and the same thing would happen. Coach McNally'd be in there in the morning, and you know, we were both coaching in the fall, and who knows what happens. No phones in the classroom, no communications back then. So you'd get a call, you'd have to run down the office, and Coach would look up, and I'd be gone down taking a call, or she'd be gone down taking a call. So
Exactly.
We've spent a lot of great times.
Great times, Rob.
Yeah.
Great kids. We had some great kids.
We surely did. And all those great kids now have great kids playing ball around here.
My
so
good Lord.
We are loving it. Well, that's going to wrap it up. We'll see you again here on tomorrow night down at Central Maine Community College. We'll have softball action starting at 6. And then Wednesday, Thursday, back up here on the hill. And we will have a pair of great soccer games. We'll have the boys on Wednesday, girls night game, 7:30 start on Thursday. Till then, for Coach McNally, for Chris Wheel, I'm Rob Munzing. For all of us at Munzing Media, so long, everybody.